Joe, thanks for tuning in, and hope your day is starting off well. It is April the 2nd, 2022. We're live here at Twin Cities News Talk, AM 1130, every Saturday morning for the Minnesota Real Estate Show. This is a show hosted by Mr. Mike Overson of Luminate Home Loans, Scott Woolmering of the We team with Remax Advantage Plus, and my name is Ryan O'Neill with the Minnesota Real Estate team, Remax Advantage Plus. We've got a great show today, a lot going on. Throughout the show, we welcome your questions, comments, thoughts. Don't hesitate to call us, 612-294-6949. Again, 612-294-6949. You can call us or text us at that number, or anytime throughout the show, you can comment on our live stream, whether you're catching us on LinkedIn, YouTube, Instagram, Twitter, Facebook. We appreciate you joining us here every Saturday. We're here talking everything about real estate, mortgage related, and there's a lot going on in our market. There's a lot to talk about today. Mike, good morning to you. A ton going on in your world, the mortgage world. It should be a fun show today.
Absolutely. Yeah. We always got stuff to talk about and talk about rates and loan options and all that fun stuff there too. Some hybrid fixed, if you guys have seen that term out there. We'll talk maybe about some hybrid fixed loans, what those are like. We'll answer your questions live on air too.
Yeah. And want to welcome on this week, Steve Mcdonald with the Minnesota Real Estate team, Remax Advantage Plus, outstanding agent. Steve, thanks for being on, bud.
Thank you. Appreciate it very much.
Yeah, Steve is here with us. Chris, also with Credit Life, a longtime partner with our team. They do an awesome job, all things credit related. Good morning to you.
Good morning. Thank you for having me again.
Yeah, it'll be fun. It'll be fun. Mr. Woolmering is out today. He is on a spring break with his son, Aiden. And so we're missing Scott, of course, but I'm sure he's having fun, Mike.
Yeah. Catching some sun, I think. Working on his tan.
Facebook, it looked like he's having fun.
Yeah. Yes. Yeah, absolutely. Appreciate you joining us. It'll be a fun show. First segment, we like to do a market update, real estate, mortgage, and then we're going to dive in with Chris, talking a little bit of credit as well. But it should be a great show. I appreciate you joining us here, Twin Cities News Talk, AM 1130. We're going live on air right now. Good morning. Welcome to the Minnesota Real Estate Show. Thank you for tuning in. It is April the 2nd, 2022. And we are live here at Twin Cities News Talk, AM 1130 every Saturday morning for the Minnesota Real Estate Show, hosted by Mike Overson of Luminate Home Loans, Scott Woolmering of the We team with Remax Advantage Plus. I'm Ryan O'Neill with the Minnesota Real Estate team. Also Remax Advantage Plus. Thank you for tuning in, everybody. Hope your weekend is starting out. It is April 2nd. There is a lot going on in the real estate world, in the mortgage world, just in general with this business. And we're going to be touching on a number of different topics today. Please don't hesitate to join us. Again, 612-294-6949, 612-294-6949, or you can comment on our Facebook Live. We're on Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, Twitter, you name it. We are online, YouTube. Mike, good morning to you there, bud.
Hey, good morning to you, Ryan.
How are you?
I'm good.
Yeah.
How you doing?
Mike is here. You're busy though, Mike. Mike Overson, you got a lot going on.
Yeah, busy times. I mean, you can tell when like the spring market is in full effect. It started earlier this year, but really when the spring market takes off is when I'm up at Friday at 10 o'clock and I'm sending 2 pre-approval letters between 10 and 11 p.m. And then Saturday morning, I got a couple more I got to send out, get hit up during the show here and stuff. So definitely busy now with a lot of activity, buyers and sellers.
Yeah, I want to welcome on our friend, outstanding agent, Mr. Steve Mcdonald. Steve is with the Minnesota Real Estate team, Remax Advantage Plus. Good to have you on, bud.
I appreciate you having me.
Yeah, Steve, a lot going on in your world. We were just talking as we were walking into the studio. You got new listings coming on throughout the Twin Cities.
Yeah, I have one coming up this week, starting in Coon Rapids, and then this next weekend the Parade of Homes ends, but also the spring preview starts for the Remodeler Showcase, and we have a project in there in Egan, which is pretty exciting. And then we actually in the next couple of weeks are going to be featured nationally on House.
Oh, wow.
Yeah,
That's
so,
really cool.
yeah. So excited about it. A lot of fun things happening.
Yeah, a lot of good stuff. And again, this first segment, Mike, Steve, we always do like to touch on some of the numbers. Let's dive right in just to give you an idea what is going on here in the Twin Cities. New listings, new homes for sale, down almost 7% year over year, so 7% less. Listings, homes that came onto the market, pending sales down 6.6%, 1,180 pending sales, and then the overall inventory of homes for sale down 14.6%, 4,713. A shortage of inventory. There were a number of good articles I saw this week, Mike, Steve, that were talking about the shortage of inventory. One I saw, which was kind of interesting. And Steve, this relates to your, your background with construction, remodeling. They were talking about in 2008 for builders, that was just the kind of apocalypse, just with the market crashing, the real estate market. And so what happened is obviously a lot of people that were in the trades, in the building, construction world, got out of that business. As time went along, and eventually millennials, are wanting to buy homes. From a construction standpoint, a lot of those folks that left the industry in 2008 and moving forward, builders obviously didn't keep up. They didn't keep building. In a lot of cases, that they didn't have the folks to do the building. That's one of the reasons we're seeing, of course, with just a lack of construction, Mike, with lack of inventory.
Yeah, absolutely. And it's, now the one of the things too that I saw this week was just that there's no new construction starter homes.
No.
You know what I mean?
Right.
What starter home price now would be, what would you guys say? When someone says, oh yeah, it's going to be a starter home, you're thinking what type of price range?
That depends on how far you go outside the cities, but if you're in the metro area here, it's hard to start at 500.
Right? I mean,
For new construction.
Yeah.
For new construction.
yeah, you know what I mean? So
and that's sticker shock. I mean, isn't that? I mean, if
Yeah.
I'm hearing that, I'm like, oh my gosh, that's expensive.
and so it's like, so the problem is that, getting into the housing market as a first-time home buyer or your starter home, look at what type of price you got to go to get in, for your first house, unless you start getting out a little bit,
Exactly.
you start getting, into maybe, New Prague, Jordan, Glencoe's, things like that, then you can get down a little bit more.
Yeah.
But I mean, if you're going to be buying, buying in anywhere that's considered the metro area, I mean, your starting point is a lot higher these days.
Talk about from a kind of a rate standpoint, what you guys are seeing. Again, huge jump this week in interest rates, Mike. Talk about that. Where are rates at? And Steve, how is that impacting any of your clients that you have?
Yeah. So rate wise, we're ended at, you're probably at 4.875, maybe 5% on a 30-year fixed, no discount points.
So 5%.
Wow. Yeah.
Just recently, we were talking in the twos,
right,
on this show. So 5%. Okay.
So I think January 4th was the first Monday of the year, I believe. Rates were at 3.25 on a 30-year fixed conventional. That same exact loan today is 4.875 to 5.
Yeah, and it's keeping up with the loan officer, knowing what that client's qualified for, because that's going to affect a lot of people.
Yeah. And so it's, if you had people, and that we were talking about earlier this morning, actually, about the buying cycle. So when someone in their mind says, hey, I'm thinking about buying, or I think I'm going to be buying this year, I want to buy this year, that's a 3 to 6 months, but before the thought is in your head to when you're actually closing on a house.
Sure.
Well, think about that. First year came, it's like, you know what, our family's growing. We got to get out of this townhouse. We want to buy a single family this year. You got pre-approved in early January. You were at 3.25 to 3.5. And now if you haven't closed on a house yet, now you're looking at 4.875 to 5.
Sure.
Yeah,
It's going to affect your buying power.
I have somebody that's looking actually probably not until late this year or early next year, but they are contemplating about moving it up and just paying the extra rent because of the rates.
Yeah.
Just they have to do something.
Do you think we'll see more? Do you think we'll see more home sellers that say, "Look, this has been the best time to sell your property in recent memory"? in long time memory, I should say. And are we going to see, because of the rising rates, some sellers that say, well, let's just still try to take advantage of, we don't know where rates are going to be 6 months or a year from now. We know the market. Maybe we should still try to sell and take advantage of this great market, Steve.
Yeah, people are going to continue to move. There's just life changes. So people will continue to move and things will still happen. Some people will sit on the sidelines and that's fine for them. But other than that, I think the market will continue to move forward.
Yeah, it is. It's an interesting time here again in the national real estate market. Again, interest rates rising considerably. Mike, I know you don't do refinances are not a huge part of your business, but do you think what do you see with that moving forward?
The only refis, literally every loan officer did refinances in 2020, 2021. You could advertise that I don't do refinances and you were still doing refinances, right? It was one of those things where it didn't matter if you want to do them or not, you're doing them because there was just that many out there. But no, I've been mainly focused on purchases. And of course I work with previous clients and stuff on refinances and things like that. But when you see rates where they're at now compared to where they were in 2020 and 2021, really the only refinances you're doing now are cash out, where people are consolidating debt. It still makes sense to do that. Or if you have a divorce type of situation where you got to get one of them off the loan, because one's going to stay in the house, the other one's going to go find a different house. Then we refinance, that one person off the loan. And so that's really the only refinances going on right now.
And rates are still good. Don't kid yourself. 4 or 5% nationally, or historically are phenomenal.
Yeah. Well, and it's hard though. It's hard for people. It's perspective a little bit, but
the average 30-year fixed over the last 40 years, you guys know what that number is? Want to take a guess?
I think it's like 7, 8, isn't it?
It's about 8.25 over the last 40 years.
8.25,
closer to 9. So yeah.
Yeah. If you look since the year 2000, do you know what the average is since the year 2000?
Tim?
I don't know.
It's about 5.75.
Yeah.
Okay.
So we're still lower, right?
Yeah.
We're at 4.875. We're still about a point lower than the average since the year 2000. So we just got spoiled with rates starting with a 2. You got to remember that's just not normal. That's never happened in history. It could very well never happen again. You know what I mean? So we can't compare, where we're at today to that. You got to throw that outlier out and then look at what would be quote unquote like normal.
With all the talk that's kind of in the market about lack of inventory, buyers not getting homes accepted, today we have a really good example of somebody, Steve Mcdonald, again, awesome agent with our team. But Steve, it's April 2nd. And you have how many sales this year? Is it like?
I think I have 15, right around 15.
15. So think of that. Again, as much as there's negative talk, nobody's buying or selling, nothing's getting done, there's no inventory. We've got somebody in studio here today, literally, that's helped 15 different folks get to an accepted closing table. And so I think that's part of it, Steve. People are always moving. You're a great example of what a really top agent is doing in our market to help people succeed.
Yeah, you need to stay active. That's the biggest thing. And I tell clients all the time, we will win if you do not give up. If you are in it to win it, we will win. I said last year I had one client that we made very aggressive offers, and it took us 10 times with very aggressive offers, but they stuck with it.
What price point?
It was about $350, and it was up in Monticello.
Okay, and you got it done.
On number 10.
Hey, we're up against the first break at the Minnesota Real Estate Show. We got a great show coming up. We're going to be talking after the break. Chris with Credit Life, one of our partners, talking all things credit related. I've got some featured listings we're going to be touching on as well. Please, you're welcome to join us. 612-294-6949. Thanks for joining us on social media, wherever you might be catching us today. A lot going on. Steve, 15 sales. That's a lot. That's a lot of activity.
Yeah, I had a few things carry over, so that was helpful.
Yeah.
And a couple are new builds that won't close until August, September timeframe. Which will bring a couple more listings into the marketplace too for us. But yeah, so it's one of those things. You hustle a little bit, things happen.
Yeah, that's good. Chris, Credit Life, awesome partner, a lot going on in your world. Welcome to the show.
Thank you again. Yeah. Love being here on Saturday morning. beautiful day, looking for a little more warm up, right?
Yeah. You got a bum knee too. I'm sorry to
Yeah,
sorry to hear about
you
that.
know, it is what it is. So just working through it. So just trying to actually lose some weight and take some pressure off of those. So
Wow.
I'm on the program.
Yeah, it's all good. What's new in the credit world for clients and for buyers this time of year?
Well, it kind of ties in for what you guys are talking about already this morning, and I think you guys all know this. People are coming to us because they want to be able to purchase a home. A lot of people are looking to be able to qualify for mortgage financing, and we get a lot of people that come to us and say, hey, we want to get that 640 or whatever FICO score for FHA VA.
Mm.
Well, the conversation is natural to come up. It's like, we need to shoot for, 660, 680 or more because you're up against buyers right now paying cash and conventional, right?
Yep.
So it makes it real tough. So, we're going to put a plan to get them to their goal. And then it's always going to be on the path to continue to improve anyway.
Right.
So
how long is that process though?
Yeah, it's going to vary from person to person. It really depends on a person's credit report and how it looks. So, it's hard to say. I mean, we get people done in a few months. Some people need a year, just it depends on what kind of a situation their credit report is in.
And the due diligence of them.
Correct. Yeah. They have to, if the people that have the best success are the ones that can follow the instructions for the plan that we put in place for them. So works out pretty good.
Mike, what do you think there? That's your space. You're dealing with credit all day long.
Yeah. You got to be active with it for sure. It's not one of those things where it's just like, hey, you guys just take care of everything type of deal.
Correct.
They'll do a lot of the heavy lifting for you, but you got to remember that companies will only send certain information to the clients themselves and not a third party helping them. Sure. So it's the constant communication being back and forth of, hey, I got this. What do I do with it? And then share the information with them so they can put a plan and go back and forth. So
yeah, and that's a key point too, because a lot of the companies that are out there that do credit repair, they don't want to talk to you once you sign up, right? All they want to do is send letters, right? That's all they're going to work on.
They don't want to talk to you.
They don't want to. We are charged. Yeah, we're open communication.
I mean, we don't want to talk to you.
We want to help you build your credit too, and that's where most companies drop the ball, right?
Mike, you want to be a client? We don't want to talk with you.
Yeah,
we're going back live on air. Hey, welcome back. Thanks for tuning in to the Minnesota Real Estate Show. We do appreciate it. Questions, comments, thoughts, 612-294-6949. Had a question that came in by text message for Mike asking about bridge loans. Can I do a bridge loan in this market? What is a bridge loan, Mike, and can you do it?
So a bridge loan is basically just putting a loan against the house that you currently own now, so you can get your hands on that equity and use that for down payment on the next house you're going to buy. So bridge loans are pretty common in today's world just because sellers have equity now. And it's like, I want to sell my house. I know I'm going to sell it and it's going to sell quickly. But, my biggest fear is, what am I going to move into? Am I going to be homeless? Do I have to find interim housing? Well, can I take the money out of my house now and go buy my next house first, and then once I close on the new house, then circle back around and then worry about selling my house, because then I can just move from one to the other. I don't have to worry about interim housing or anything like that. So that bridge loan gives you the ability to grab that equity then and use it for the down payment on the next house.
So do all lenders do bridge loans? I mean, if you call any lender up, is that a common thing people do?
No, not all lenders do bridge loans. That's a banking type of product. So unless you have a bank that does portfolio loans, you're not going to be able to do a bridge loan. So definitely not all banks do them. We definitely do them in-house. There's alternatives to the bridge loan. I've done some training, I know, with the team on some alternatives that might be better, a better option. And it really just depends on the person's situation. So once I see a situation where I know exactly what I'm working with on all areas, I can say, this is what I think is your best route. Sometimes the bridge loan is the best route.
Talking to Chris, Credit Life, great partner. If you go to mnrealestateshow.com, you'll see all of our outstanding partners. These are trusted folks that we work with, our clients work with, and do an awesome job. Chris and Jared, Brian, the entire team at Credit Life are credit experts. Right now, credit being super important, more important than ever. Good morning to you. Thanks for tuning in.
Good morning.
Thanks for joining us, I should say, not tuning in.
Yeah. Absolutely.
Lot going on in your world. We were talking a little bit off air in the break. Just a lot going on. A lot of people working to improve their credit to get in a spot and get a mortgage.
Yes. And it's you guys know the markets. It is extremely tough. You want to have your credit in the best possible position. The higher you can get that FICO score, the better chances you're going to be against competing with those other offers that are out there.
Already a credit question come in saying, do landlords report to credit bureaus?
That depends. Some management companies may report. Individual landlords typically do not. That's not that they can't do that. So, typically most individuals, small time landlords are only going to maybe consider trying to report somewhere, not necessarily directly to Equifax, TransUnion, or Experian, if there's a default situation on the rent.
Yeah, Steve, have you had any, as you think about clients over the years from a credit standpoint, any thoughts how that's come up or conversations? Again, 15 transactions already this year. How has that come up with some of your clients?
Oh, there's a few it's not uncommon every year to have a few that it takes them a while to get approved. And that's okay because they got to get in a position that's good for them. And at times I'll actually even show them some properties so they can see what's coming on the market. They get a feel of what they like, and they also understand where the market kind of sits price-wise so that their expectations can be set correctly, in a sense that they don't overextend themselves thinking they can afford something different. So,
yeah, want to give a shout out. We've got a lot of folks joining us. Today is our friend Kareem's birthday. He's an awesome agent on the Minnesota real estate team. Want to wish Kareem, I hope you have a wonderful birthday. Thank you for joining us. Good morning as well, Monica, Angie joining us, Brian, a variety of people tuning in on social media. So thank you to all of you tuning in. We're talking to Chris from Credit Life, awesome partner. Chris, thoughts for people in this market and what you're doing to help clients?
For people in the market that need the help, if you're trying to get yourself in mortgage position, first thing I would tell you is contact Credit Life. If you want that professional help, we're going to help you get there as fast as we can help you get there. The best way to do that is just to go to creditlifevip.com and schedule a phone call with us. We don't charge anything for the phone call. We'll answer
Phone calls are okay.
Phone calls are okay. Absolutely. Yeah, we are open communication.
even the second call?
Yeah, even a second call. With a live person?
With a live person. That's right.
Wow, very nice.
A local live person too.
Right.
That's the other nice thing too. It's not a call center type of situation. They're local here. So you can call them and you can go personally visit them too, which is nice because on the loan side of things, I like to either meet with my clients in person or do like an online meeting where they say me, I see them, I share my screen with them. Like people can see stuff. It just information sinks in and they retain it better.
Yep.
And so that's the other nice thing too. They're local and you can actually physically go in there and get the info.
Speaking of local, how about the local phenom playing basketball for Connecticut and her team winning last night, and now they're going. I think Sunday's the big game. I saw in the paper, the news. Pretty exciting local talent. Mike, you catch any of the game?
Beckers, know all about it. The stats. So she plays for UConn, and so if you look at UConn basketball on the men's side and women's side, they're undefeated in national championships. The women are 11-0 when they reach a national title game, and the men are 4-0. So if you're going to be betting on UConn or betting on that championship game for the women's, you probably want to go to UConn because they have never lost in a title game yet.
Had another question come in. This one, maybe Steve can touch on this. And again, you can comment on any of the social media streams you might be seeing, or just give us a call here at the show or text us. But this one is in regards to looking to sell their home and wondering if there's some type of contingency clause that allows them to put the home on the market. A contingency clause, Steve.
Well, I would say you could, I've done it before on an amendment, had the close date tied to them finding acceptable housing is where I actually have one right now that I had the buyer and had it approved. It was actually an FHA buyer, got it through and approved. Out of 28 offers, we won. But
Really?
Nice.
Wow.
But we agreed to a move-in date, acceptable to them finding housing. The agent, and that was about 2 weeks ago, they texted me this morning on the way up here and said, we are going to put a very strong offer in. Can they move in June? It's like, for sure.
Steve, again, and I don't mean to keep bringing this up, but I like to focus on the positive, especially with this show. 15 deals done. What are you doing to get 15 closings in 2022?
I've always felt in sales, it's about people, meeting people, just being actively involved with people. I've been very blessed that people have recommended me. That's always a nice recommendation to work with somebody who's recommended you. And, through our team, I'll say our team has done a very nice job to be able to use that in speaking with people, either for a listing or for meeting with them and talking to them about using myself as a buyer's agent. So there's been just a lot of good positive things.
I think experience is a big deal too.
Yeah.
Just knowing how to put an offer together in this type of market so that you actually have a chance.
Right.
Oh, I'd
You know what I
agree with
mean?
that.
I mean, a brand new agents in this market, hopefully they got a good network, right? So a new agent coming on to like the team here, you got a network of very experienced individuals that you can reach out to and help with in structuring deals. If you don't have that type of support and you're a newer agent, it would be very tough to figure out how to start getting your offers accepted when you're competing against 25 other offers and 25 other agents that might have more experience and know how to handle that situation a little bit better.
Yeah, we do as a team. We've got a great list of those multiple offer tips that we've come up with that we share with our clients, of course, that's helping clients, our agents, win in multiple offer transactions. There is a certain method to the madness, if you will. And so we are all students of the game, and you kind of learn what to do, what not to do, how to put together an offer. What's the best likelihood of getting an offer accepted? Steve is a great example of that. Guys, I wanted to mention too, after the break, I know that with our team, the Minnesota Real Estate Team, we do a variety of things in the community, and April is Fair Housing Month. And so we've got a wonderful guest joining us by phone. Her name is Mel Parsons. She is a real estate agent in Seattle. So she's going to be talking about a great initiative going on with Fair Housing Month here in actually all across the country, but how it's benefiting someone here locally in the Twin Cities. So a lot of good stuff going on, Steve. What do you think?
Yeah, you were talking about, I always tell everybody as we're making offers that there is no two offers we're going to make the same. Every house, every offer, we're going to structure differently. And at times, well, not at times, every time, if we didn't win, I try to find out from the agent what was the difference to explain it to the customer so they understand how do we have to change something to make that just a little bit better the next time.
Right. Chris, you've got an offer as well for folks.
We do. So just real quick, I want to plug two things. We have a Facebook group. It's a closed group. I encourage everybody to request an invite if you're looking for some credit tips, some help. We answer questions in there too. Fair Credit Repair Advice Group on Facebook.
Fair credit?
Free.
I'm sorry, free. Yes.
Free.
Yeah.
Free
credit repair advice group. It's a takeoff of the Fair Credit Reporting Act, FCRA. So
Got it.
and it's $100 off if you sign up with Credit Life for the tax time. So I've got the details real quick here. There are some hard deadlines on that. You must schedule a call with us prior to midnight on April the 18th.
Okay.
And then sign up no later than the 30th of
Nice.
April to get that benefit.
We're going to continue the discussion with you. Again, your website is?
It's creditlifevip.com is to schedule. You can just go to creditlife.com and check out our website. And Credit Life has no T in it.
Yeah, there's no T.
No T.
Chris, you do a wonderful job. Thanks for being with us. We'll continue the discussion here throughout the show with you.
Awesome.
Yeah, we do appreciate it. We've got a great second half of the show coming up. Going to be talking with our friend Mel about this wonderful initiative. We've got two awesome listings as well we're going to be featuring right after the break. This is the Minnesota Real Estate Show.
Easy mistake to make. Free, fair.
Yeah. Thanks for tuning in for the show. We got a variety of folks watching us. We really do appreciate that. And anytime throughout the week, Questions, comments, thoughts, 612-294-6949. Chris, you guys are really doing a nice job, though. I mean,
Thank you.
you really, I know, are a local company, and there's really not a lot of local companies doing what you're doing.
No, there's not. I don't think there's any local companies doing exactly what we're doing.
Yeah. And I think it's important, especially for people who are on that cusp. They just need to get it fixed and they need to understand it.
You know,
Any featured listings you got, Steve? You got a lot of listings coming up this guy.
Well, I've got one coming up this week here in Coon Rapids. Nice 4-bedroom split entry home. All new carpeting, new paint, new appliances. Just a really, really nice home. Backs up to a park on a cul-de-sac.
Yep.
So super nice. 300 is starting price.
300.
Yep.
Okay. Is it a Rambler? You said
Split
entry.
Yeah. And then we'll just a little later on here, we'll have a house coming up in Apple Valley and another one coming up in Zimmer.
Oh, very nice. A lot of listings there, young man.
Yeah. Sometimes it seems to be the name of the game.
A lot of listings, right, Mike?
Yeah, listings are good right now. Absolutely.
Mike, are you seeing purchase applications dive with the rise in rates?
No.
You are not.
Nope. My busiest week of applications was last week. So I took 20 applications last week. Week before was like 18. The week before was 15. So it's been ramping up, and the rates really hasn't slowed anything down from what I've seen.
Do you see people looking that are continuing to come to you as a price raising? That type of client continues to.
They know, yeah. Everyone kind of knows. It's just like we know roughly where we got to be on price to get something where we actually want to buy.
Yeah.
So they're coming into it knowing it's like, hey, I'll be like, hey, is there a particular purchase price you want to get approved for, a monthly payment you want to stick to? And they're basically like, well, in order to get something we'd actually want, we got to be at 4 or 450 or, so they kind of know going in.
And I'll say your app, I love your app, because a lot of times when I meet people the first time, you talk a little bit about it and it's like, well, let's talk a little bit about where you're comfortable with payment, not even talk about price.
Right.
And start from there. And it's just a real good realization for this is where you're going to have to be.
Yeah. Yep. And so I always ask about payment too, because a lot of people, it's, even though rates are rising a little bit, like you said earlier, they're not that crazy, right?
Mm-hmm.
A 4.875 or 4.75 rate, if you talk to any of our parents, they'd be like, you guys are spoiled.
Yeah.
Right. So it's still a good rate and stuff like that. But a lot of people aren't pushing their maxes. Like, even though that rates are up a little bit, they're still not like going to the top that they can get approved for. And so that's why I always ask payment. Like, payment wise, where do you want to be at? Because if I know what type of payment you want to be at, I can run the numbers backwards and tell you what price you should be looking at to get you that payment.
Sure.
So,
yeah. Again, throughout the metro, if you are looking to purchase right now, don't be deflated. Again, we went over obviously the market update with low inventory. Remember your agent as well. Part of your agent's job is to search any and all avenues to find properties. For example, with our company, with our brokerage, we have kind of an internal network that at any given time maybe has a couple hundred different listings that agents can tap into to show buyers to. A really good buyer's agent will door knock, will maybe send out letters specifically to neighborhoods, to different types of communities. Steve, you've done all of the above, and it's part of the reason your buyers you're finding inventory.
Yeah, and it's just one of those, you can't leave any stone unturned. You just got to work the system every angle you possibly can, and meeting and talking to people. Even in other brokerages, as I'm sometimes put a deal together, I'll ask that broker or that agent, what do you have coming to the market? I have somebody that I'm kind of talking to a little bit about maybe a flip type of opportunity that they have. So it's just, again, always talking to people about making it happen.
Right. Yeah, we're going back live on air. Again, Twin Cities News Talk, AM 1130. Appreciate you joining us here in the Minnesota Real Estate Show. Hope your weekend is going well thus far. Hey, welcome back to the Minnesota Real Estate Show. We do appreciate it. Got to give a shout out to Tara Cardenas, awesome agent, Remax Advantage Plus, and the Minnesota Real Estate team. She's got a new listing, Mike. This one is listed for $395,000, and this property is actually in Bloomington. Tara describes it as an amazing opportunity in high-demand West Bloomington, built with care and thought. It's a 2-bed, 3-bath Rambler on a large private lot. It's It's got a spacious main level, large living room, vaulted ceilings, 2 brick surround fireplaces, custom cabinetry throughout, ceramic baths, ample windows offering an abundance of natural light. Again, 2-bed, 3-bath. It is in West Bloomington. Address of this property is 5110 Overlook Drive, 5110 Overlook. Just went on the market here. It's $395,000. Mike, what do you think about that?
395 in Bloomington, West Bloomington.
Yeah.
Should go quick.
Yeah, Tara's an awesome agent. Check out the photos too. I'm looking at this. Just a great listing. Wanted to transition now. We've got a special caller calling in, a wonderful agent, and just an all-around outstanding, kind, caring human being by the name of Mel Parsons. Mel, thank you for calling. Well, good morning to you. We wanted, I met Mel through a mutual friend of ours by the name of Tracy Call. Tracy, who is the owner and founder of a local company called Media Bridge Advertising. She does just a wonderful job, just a very great person. And Mel, you are kind of spearheading an effort, a local effort regarding fair housing. April is Fair Housing Month. We thought it'd be great to have you on air. If you could tell us a little bit about what you're doing and how folks can get involved.
Sure, thanks. So yeah, Fair Housing Month, we are at the very beginning of a month that commemorates the passing of the Fair Housing Act in April of 1968. And we can't help but talk about Fair Housing Month and look at it in the context of why was it ever needed? We needed a law to stop redlining and blockbusting and steering and keeping truly, racist systems in place that were hoarding real estate and neighborhoods, creating higher values for white homeowners and pushing out and keeping truly generational wealth from Black and brown homeowners. And it's a yucky past. It feels bad to look at and think about, but we're not doing any good if we decide to just look away and try to pretend it never happened. Because here we are in 2022, and we actually have a lower rate of Black home ownership now in 2022 than we did when the Fair Housing Act was passed in 1968. So the impact of the many, many years of oppression and using real estate to oppress are still truly impacting the Black and brown communities.
So in this case, Mel, what you're doing is, again, we're talking fair housing, we're talking everything regarding that. You and Tracy and others are a person of action, and you're doing something pretty special. Tell folks a little bit about what you're doing. And I know having fellow friends, other real estate brokers, agents, teams who occasionally tune in and listen to our show. Tell people how we can get involved for your cause.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, this is the good news. We don't have to just go, oh, that's awful to hear. We can actually do something about it. So Catrice Jackson is an anti-racism teacher and runs Homes for Black Women. And we are currently on our 3rd home that will be provided for a family actually in the Twin Cities. So Maria Perry is our most recent recipient. And Maria and her kids, by summertime, will be looking for their own home debt-free, because we have a fund that is already at $215,000.
Wow.
And we're actually only on day 2 of Fair Housing Month, but this campaign that we're pushing, Closing the Gap for Maria's Home, has already brought in $4,500.
Wow. Very impressive.
Agents and team leaders and brokers participating from every corner of the country. And the great thing is that this recipient is actually in your city. And we're seeing a lot of agents and team leaders and broker owners stepping up and making significant contributions.
Mel, you've got a huge heart. Again, you are a person of action. You're out in Seattle. You're organizing this initiative of fair housing while out in Seattle, kind of rallying the troops. And you've got a great website. Be sure to let's share the website, and then how are you seeing folks get involved with this cause?
So and I'm hoping that you can share this, Brian, that you can share online our link and people can go in there. There's a short little video of me talking about why I believe that we white-bodied real estate professionals need to make repair in this way. Then there's a link at the bottom that they can sign up and figure out what works for them. Contributions from each closing, a flat fee. What's a meaningful contribution from them this month?
Yeah, just so cool. Again, the web address is parsonsteamseattle.com/April Fair. Again, Parsons, PARSONS, parsonsteamseattle.com/April Fair. And again, this is called Closing the Gap. Mel, I know you're incredibly busy. You got a lot going on with your real estate business. Very kind of you to be doing what you're doing, taking action, encouraging other people to get involved, especially a Fair Housing Month. Just really, truly appreciate what you and Tracy, your entire team, are doing.
Thanks, Ryan. Yeah, I believe, when we know more, we do more. So thank you so much for spreading the word and for your participation already in the campaign. Appreciate it.
Yeah, again, Mel Parsons. Hey, we hope you have a good weekend. Hey, by the way, how is the market out in Seattle? Is it crazy as ever?
It's absolutely nutty. I'm actually pulled off on the side of the road and then getting ready to go show a place, before anybody else gets their offer in. So I'm sure it's a lot like what you all are dealing with.
You told me that when I talked to you this week, Mel, you said there was an offer. Did you say it was $450,000 over the list price?
Yeah, I currently have a pending sale at $490,000 over list price. It's really bonkers out here right now.
Oh my gosh!
Starter home?
I have another with a $500,000 earnest money.
$500,000 earnest money. Oh my gosh!
What's the average sales price? Ask her what that is.
Mel, what's the average sales price out there?
Just over $1 million.
Over $1 million bucks. Well, we know you're busy. We're grateful for you taking time. A big thanks to Tracy. Again, Tracy Call with Media Bridge Advertising locally. Just a wonderful person, her and her entire team, as well as Mel. Thank you. I'm just so grateful for what you're doing and rallying the cause. I hope you have a good rest of the weekend here. Okay.
Thanks so much, Ryan. You too.
Yeah. Thanks so much. Pretty amazing. Guys, what a great initiative, rallying the cause, Steve, April Fair Housing Month. Pretty awesome, pretty special stuff.
Yeah, I think it's always awesome when you're helping people out. I think that's what we all need to do.
Yeah, very cool. We're already up against our 3/4 point break here at the Minnesota Real Estate Show. Before I do go to break, I did want to give a shout out Brian Amundsen, awesome agent with the Minnesota Real Estate Team, Remax Advantage Plus. Mike, he has one down in New Prague.
Nice.
In New Prague, this is a listing 1220 Olivia Street Southeast in New Prague. It's a super clean 3-bed, 2-bath, oversized 3-car garage, listed for $350,000. Brian Amundsen has that listing 1220 Olivia Street in New Prague. 3-bed, 2-bath, again, $350,000. Check that one out. The photos look awesome online. This is the Minnesota Real Estate Show. Thanks for tuning in, everybody. And we hope everything with the call came through okay. Mel Parsons, again, really just doing a wonderful job. What a great fundraiser for Fair Housing Month. What do you think of that, Mike?
Yeah, it's great. It's surprising to me that that went into the fair housing went into effect in 1968. She said,
yeah,
and there was actually a higher percentage of minority homeownership then,
right,
than now.
Yeah,
I start to think, well, what needs to change? Like
Right.
that shouldn't be that way, right? So what needs to change? Like where's the disconnect there and how do we get that number up?
Right.
I don't know what the answer is. It's
Yeah.
just that it's a staggering, like I didn't expect that, right? And so
Yeah.
now I'm trying to think like, well, what's it got to take? Like, what do we got to do differently?
With all the initiatives that I've seen banks do in the past,
Right.
that was very surprising to me to hear that that's the situation that we're in right now.
Yeah. Yeah. It's interesting. I think of on our team, for example, we've got two really good agents, Latino. A number of great agents on the team who are Latino, but I think of a few specifically that I talked to this week. Cecilia Giron, who's a great agent. Marcos Martinez, Rodolfo Trujillo. I mean, there's a variety of folks.
Yeah.
But what's interesting with them being primary Spanish speakers, a lot of their clients also being primary Spanish speakers are getting deals done, are buying homes and that's great to see.
Yeah, it is very nice.
You know,
And,
you think,
they're good resources for us at times too, because if we're
Right.
speaking with somebody who's more Spanish speaking, they do speak some English. It's always a great resource for us to have.
like Marcos. I mean, I could see Marcos has got, I don't know how many closed transactions, but it's pretty amazing. And so, yeah, your point's a good one, Mike. What needs to change to kind of have that stop?
Yeah, I don't know what that answer is, but I would say it's obviously something's got to change. There's got to be some sort of different something.
But I think being involved, like she said, I think that's some of it is understanding what does it take. I don't think anyone has just one solution. I think there's probably several things that probably have
Yeah.
to change, but it's just being involved and understanding them.
Well, speaking of fair housing, what happened this past year with offers is there used to be this letter process where you would write an offer and then you'd include this letter with the offer, talking about your family. Well, a lot of agents, companies, brokers, and the National Association of Realtors came out and said, hey, no more letters for these reasons. You know, maybe you find someone that for whatever reason is partial to this particular type of buyer or this one, which really isn't fair when you think about it. And that's why they're not doing it.
Yeah.
You know, no more letters. Do you see many letters, Mike?
I still see a few out there.
Yeah.
I mean, you guys probably still see.
Yeah, there's some
Yeah.
that come through. And on listings, I always ask the sellers, do you want to see them or not? You know, some will say, yes, we want to see them. Others will say, no, we don't want to see them.
Had a good comment from Gail. Gail said, your Minnesota-Sarasota connection. Hope everything's good in Florida. She says, actually, we're going back live on air. We'll take this one right on air. Here we go. Hey, welcome back. Thanks for tuning in, folks. Hope your weekend is going well. Great caller who just called in, Mel Parsons. Again, ParsonsTeamSeattle.com/April Fair. It's all about closing the gap in minority home ownership. What a wonderful cause. Money's being raised for a local family here. Pretty cool, pretty awesome stuff. Big thanks to Mel and Tracy Call, Media Bridge Advertising. Mike, we had a comment from Gail down in Sarasota. Hey, hope everything's good down in Sarasota. She says your Minnesota-Sarasota connection. You said other options for sellers to purchase who need lending than bridge loans if scared to go forward without selling first. Can you touch if there's an option if not enough equity for selling? Can you touch if there's any options for you as a home seller? In other words, so a bridge loan wouldn't be an option in that case.
Yep. So another thing you can do is recast. So let's say you qualify for 2 homes, right? So we qualify for 2 homes here, but we really want to take the equity from this house, and maybe it's only 20 or 30,000 or 40,000, whatever it is, right? But we want to be able to get our hands on that money and use that for the down payment on this house. So the new house that we have starts off with that lower payment and things like that we want. Every single loan that we do has a recast option. So let's play this out. So we can't do a bridge loan on this house for whatever reason. We want to go buy this house first. We qualify for 2 homes. Let's just go buy the new house with minimum down payment. Okay, we're going to get into that house. Now we're going to work on selling our house over here. Once we have the proceeds from that sale, we're going to take those proceeds and apply it to the loan on the new house. Now what we can do is we can recast your loan to say, okay, once you apply that principal, that money to the principal balance, we'll calculate your payment out based on that lower balance and the amount of months you have left on the term of the loan. And so now you just dropped your payment on the new house to where it would have been if you would have already had your house sold and you had those proceeds available for the next one. So that would be a good option there too. You can also do a loan against a 401k, and a lot of people use a 401k like a bridge loan. Hey, I'm gonna borrow from my 401k to put down on the new house, and then when I sell my old house, I'm just gonna pay my 401k back. Or you can get gift funds from family. Same thing. You're using your gift funds from family like a bridge loan, where I'm going to use the gift funds for the down payment of the new house. Once my old house sells, I'll just pay my family member back.
Well, what a family member.
Yeah,
I want more family
We
members.
call it the rich uncle.
Hey,
That's
by the
rich
way,
uncle.
by the way, some of my family members might be watching or listening. So, again, I mean,
Call Ryan.
yeah, I mean, no, or vice versa. We're waiting for that nice gift, Steve. Steve, you're the type of guy you would give a gift. You got such a big heart.
Well, to
You'd
you,
be
I
the
would.
first lining up. Steve would be right. Just add a couple zeros.
Yeah. How many parents and grandparents are getting calls? I heard this guy on the radio. He said family gives gift. What are you going to do for me?
FamilyGivesGift.com.
Yeah.
It is an interesting option. Remember, though, again, as home sellers, and I know we touched on this a few weeks ago, but again, you can put your home on the market, make it subject to you finding a home of your choice. So in other words, if you can't do the 2-home thing, you don't want to go through the process of buying first, you can put your home on the market, get an offer on your home, make the offer subject to finding a suitable home of your choice by a certain date. If you don't find a home, hey, you're not out anything, you don't have to move at all. However, that allows you to write non-contingent on the home, which gives you strength in the offer you're writing. Steve, you're doing that, I know, with some folks too.
Yeah, as I said earlier, I have one right now that is just moving it up. The buyers had it. We actually pushed it up. Part of the enticement, we said we would give them until August. So we went as far out as we possibly could. And then this week, just today, they texted me saying they were making a strong offer and wonder if we can close in June.
Chris had a question come in. Again, this one is by text message, 612-294-6949. Says, I recently filed bankruptcy. Is there anything you can do for my credit?
Absolutely. The best time actually to get into the process of kind of cleaning up some of the credit artifacts that happen with a bankruptcy, because that stuff doesn't just disappear from your credit report, right? So the best thing to do is, as soon as that discharge happens, contact us, and we're going to start working on how those things report, because most lenders, they drop the ball on reporting. Most creditors do. So there's a high probability that there's a lot of mistakes in how that's reporting.
Wow.
So I don't understand that. So if you're filing bankruptcy, then what are you doing? You're disputing items after the bankruptcy's done.
The nice thing about the Fair Credit Reporting Act is it gives consumers the right to challenge information that's not 100% accurate on their credit report. And that's what we help them do. And so we know how to read those credit reports. And you all know, a lot of people don't, but how difficult it can actually be to understand what's on your credit report.
Yeah.
Right. We've got the experience to help the people get that done.
Classic example is collection companies. You got a collection on there, you work out a deal, you pay them, right? They have their money. They got no motivation to go back and actually update that account on your credit report. Hey, we got our money, you're good. Might still show a balance on your credit report. They don't care.
Even if it's zero, a collection account is highly negative. It's, you're making a highly negative account slightly less negative by getting it to zero if they update it to zero.
Right.
Speaking of slightly less negative, I got to ask Mike Dubs this. Mike, do you have Apple TV? Apple TV. I don't have Apple TV. By the way, what's going on in the TV world? You got to get a subscription to like anything to watch anything nowadays. Well, anyway, Kevin Curtis told me about the show called Ted Lasso.
I've heard
Anybody watch Ted Lasso?
I have not.
I heard it's hilarious.
Anyway, the quick version of it is, and there's relevance to this, believe me. He is a American football coach who goes overseas to coach this soccer team, doesn't know anything about it. And anyway, he's a super positive guy, just way over the top positive. And the whole story is kind of about what he's doing, to basically help people, help his players. And I'm only about 4 episodes in, but Kevin Curtis on our team is a huge Ted Lasso fan. He's like, you got to watch Ted Lasso. So anyway, there was something in your credit about talking about it's hard. Sometimes you just put your head in the ground. You're like, oh my gosh, I filed bankruptcy. I can't do anything.
Yeah, most people do that just because they don't know what to do.
Right.
And we're going to turn that around for them. And the best thing to do is get with us. We'll put a plan in place because you want to clean up the negative. But for you, for anybody that does that, it's the future that, for anybody for credit repair, it's the future that's important. You have to start managing your open and active credit the right way. And coming out of a bankruptcy, you have to start obtaining the credit to rebuild it.
Because one of the things in a bankruptcy, correct me if I'm wrong, is you're not supposed to open up any new accounts, or there's some sort of rules or something about opening up new accounts. But the only way to build credit, good credit, is to open new accounts and establish better credit.
Correct.
So there's this weird kind of like, you're not supposed to do it, but we have to do it. And it's one of those things. How do you navigate through all that stuff? That's where these guys are experts at.
Yep.
Yeah. How do you navigate, Mike?
How do you do it? You
Call Ted Lasso.
Yeah.
I'm telling you. Hey, by the way, if you are like a super techie TV person, please call into our show. Help us understand. You think about how illogical it is. We used to have one TV, everything was on there. And now we're in a world, it's like the one that won Best Picture, Coda. Well, Coda's only on, was it Apple TV? I think. So, my wife and I were going to watch it. Well, how do we watch it? Well, you need Apple TV. That's another $8 a month or whatever. It's like, what's going on with the world there?
I don't spend a lot of time watching TV. It's
That's
not
good.
that important.
That's why he's too busy doing deals.
That's why
over
he's
there.
got 15 home sales. Hey, Steve Mcdonald, best way for people to connect with you and your remodeling company as well.
Yeah. You can get a hold of me at 612-910-2955. And our remodeling company is White Birch Design, LLC. We are number 9 in the spring preview, or the remodeler showcase, excuse me. It's in Egan. It's a great kitchen project that we did. And reach out to me either on real estate side or the remodeling side.
That's something, again, we're running out of time, but Steve, again, runs a remodeling company. He comes as a general contractor from that space. You guys are doing a ton of awesome projects. White Birch Design is the name of your company, and you're running 2 successful operations.
Yeah, it's been, the remodeling side has been very busy. And I think a lot of it has to do with the real estate side, is that some people will look at it saying, well, if I'm going to stay here, what are we going to do?
Yeah. Great job, Steve Mcdonald. Awesome guy, awesome agent. If you need that loan from your uncle, call
Ryan
Steve.
is
Uncle Steve. Call Uncle Steve.
Chris, Credit Life, good job, bud. Great
Thank you,
job,
sir.
man. Hope
Thank
your knee feels better, man.
Me too.
Yeah, it's
A
no
lot.
fun. No fun. Check out again. It's Credit Life with no T. Credit Life.
VIP.com if you're scheduling, creditlife.com for the website.
Great job. Mike Overson, Luminate Home Loans, doing awesome work as always, their friend. Great job, buddy. Last thoughts for folks?
Yeah, it's just, just on the real estate side of things, having experience how to structure a deal. Same thing on this side. We get a lot of stuff. How do we structure the financing for a particular situation? Not every person's situation is the same as the next. So each one is individualized. So once we kind of get a clear picture, we talk about bridge loans, we talk about gift funds for family, we talk about 401k loans. How can we incorporate that and get you in the best position possible?
Great show, everybody. Take care. Enjoy the weekend. Spring's in the air. Bye-bye. Thanks
Awesome.
for so many folks who tuned in the entire show. We appreciate it. It was a fun show, a lot going on. We will be back next Saturday, the 9th. Speaking of the 9th, we're getting close to tax season, April 15th, coming around the corner. But we're here for you to help you. If you are a buyer, seller, investor, you got questions, comments, thoughts, please don't hesitate to reach out. We've got an awesome team here to help and serve you. Have a great weekend, everybody. Take care. Bye-bye.
See ya.